Welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here, and your boy is doing it. The main series, Pokemon Game Tier List. This is going to be a ton of fun, and if you end up enjoying the video, don't forget to leave a like, share it with your friends, start bringing the hype back into Pokemon as we get ready for Pokemon Sword and Shield. Also, comment down below, join in on discussion. What's your tier list? You don't have to do like every game, you know, just kind of run it down and also give your thoughts about mine. So without any further ado, let's get into it. As you can see, I've actually ordered this. If you go into the page naturally, it goes alphabetically instead of chronologically. So I made things a little easier, and we gotta kick it off like that, guys. Pokemon Red and Blue still hold up. This was reaffirmed when I got the Pokemon Red and Blue Virtual Console, and all the connectivity just like made me realize, like, man, the games are still amazing. I appreciate them as a kid, but I appreciate them more as an adult. I don't even know how it was possible. You know, you can't just be like, well, the graphics are bad and it has glitches, so Gen 5's better, you stupid Gen 1. No, that's not what Pokemon's about. The reason why Pokemon's so large is because of an incredible foundation. Pokemon Red and Blue, and technically going into Gold and Silver because they were kind of connected as generations in idea, they held up, they launched Pokemon, and by playing through the games, you have an amazing RPG adventure feel. You can still pick up Pokemon Red and Blue and then get that pure sense of adventure from Pokemon, and if anything, it's just really fun to go back and see how everything was. And then when you understand more about the games, like all the glitches, all the exploits, the shiny hunting, you can shiny hunt in Generation 1. That makes these games have so much more replayability and so much more like longevity to them when you can do some really crazy stuff like that. Little bits of optimization, being able to train your Pokemon in the best ways, and then being able to play competitive. Competitive Gen 1 is really good. I learned that from Virtual Console because you can get Pokemon level 100 pretty quick, and then you just beat the crap out of each other like Pokemon Stadium. It's amazing. Now, what I will say is Yellow version gets a B for me. I actually didn't really play it that much. I think my brother got it and I kind of like offhanded it. I never like really did a full playthrough of Yellow, and it just kind of suffers from third game syndrome for me. I'm not really a huge fan of like the third game unless it like adds a lot to the Pokemon game. So it's like, yeah, Yellow was just kind of there. The Pikachu gimmick was cool, did remove the missing no glitch, so I guess I might deduct points from that, and yeah, it's just kind of like the same, but different, but creative, but a thing. So let's get into Generation 2. Also holds down the A. Like, if anything, this would be the A+, for the games, that it just makes Pokemon Generation, it takes Pokemon Generation 1 and makes it better. You're thrown right into the adventure, everything feels familiar, but everything also feels upgraded. I had a better time, you know, running it down with my Cyndaquil and getting into a Typhlosion than I did with any of the starter Pokemon from Red and Blue. So I had a better starter pick. I feel like the gameplay progression was also very nice, and it just picks up where it left off. That, oh, Team Rocket, I thought I disbanded them, but they're back. Where's Giovanni? Oh crap, they don't even know where Giovanni is. Where's Red? Where's the hero? Wait, I crushed Team Rocket. Now they're all like all over the place from Red and Blue version. And then you go back to Kanto, so you get to relive that adventure in a different way, so it keeps things spicy. You go through that, you get to Mount Silver, and you have the hardest Pokemon challenge ever in one of the most like creative areas. You know, getting into Mount Silver, going through Mount Silver, that's a lot of fun and adventure, and I spent tons of time even catching all the unknown. There's a lot of side things to do in Heart Gold Soul Silver that just make the games better. The actual like questing feeling for like the side quest it feels to get the legendary Pokemon, the mazes, the puzzles, the gym leaders. There were so many memorable characters. I love almost all the cities. The music is incredible. Gold and Silver are just great games. Because of that, Crystal, it holds the A. Like I said, like it didn't really suffer from third game syndrome for me. That you just play it and everything's a bit more vibrant. You got Pokemon with little animations. It tells you where the route is, and just kind of updated really well. So I feel that Crystal is in the same realm as just Gold, Silver, and all that fun stuff. Now, Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, those just get the straight Bs for me. That I thought they were fine. You know, fun games. Like, some people might go, maybe A-, B+, so like here for Emerald version. But like, you know, I didn't really value the Battle Frontier as much because I started getting competitive in Generation 4, where we already have the Battle Tower. Heart Gold Soul Silver has the Battle Frontier. So we have all this stuff that just kind of plays together. I'm like, yeah, we still have those things, so it's still pretty alright and pretty good. But overall, you know, I enjoyed Ruby a fair amount. I played Sapphire a lot. Secret bases were really cool. I had more connectivity with friends than any of the other games with the Game Boy Advance, so did a lot more Pokemon battles, did a lot more cool things, and just kind of played the games, but it was just kind of like played out at this point. As much as I hated reading Game Informer as a kid and then seeing it's like, it's just the same Pokemon formula, Ruby and Sapphire, they gave us new Pokemon, which made it feel a lot different, but it was pretty samey in formula, and I'm just going to throw Fire Red, Leaf Green. Like, the Generation 3 run was B. It was solid, it was average, but it still didn't, like, have that power to me that the other games had. Diamond and Pearl, crap, this is a hard one, because once again, it's like a B plus A kind of feeling. Like, the games themselves, I'd give a B, just for, like, if you play through the games, but if you take the games to the next level, and, oh man, I didn't play Platinum version, guys, so a lot of people are like, yo, the Reverse World's super cool, but didn't really add anything to the games. Kind of, I don't know, like B plus, once again, like the Emerald kind of idea, but I'm just going to drop it down and be like that, so, because I spent all of my time in Diamond and Pearl. Like, so if you just play the games, they're alright. But then when you spend 1,000 hours in the underground with friends, that makes them really good games. When you actually do all the things to get Spiritomb, that makes them really good games. And then I'm also kind of like going into Generation 4, I spent hundreds of hours in the Battle Tower, learning competitive Pokemon, getting competitive, being able to sync up with Pokemon Battle Revolution. Generation 4 just also being the time that, you know, I spent the most time playing competitive. I got incredibly good at Pokemon. I was winning the most tournaments. So, like, everything outside of that just made these games, like, next level with what you're able to do and where you're able to take it from there. The being able to call trainers and then use that for EV training was super awesome. The Elite Four run was really good as well. Everything about that was actually just like solid games. I shouldn't have doubted them as B, like A games for sure. And then we get our first S tiers. Perfection in Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Perfect games in every way. First time Pokemon following you, that spirit of adventure, you know, making the elevated Pokemon Red and Blue into Gold and Silver, somehow perfected even more in Heart Gold, Soul Silver. You have the Friend Safari, you got the Battle Frontier. I actually got max stats in the Pokathlon because I cared about everything this game had to offer. The Red Challenge still holds up, going through, rebattling gyms, the gym leaders. This had everything. This almost felt like it would be the last Pokemon games, or that it was Heart Gold, Soul Silver, then like a 4 or 5 region Pokemon game, and then Pokemon was dead. Like, you can't beat that. Unless, I don't even think you can beat that. Pokemon Sword and Shield is going to have to try damn hard to do something about the everything Pokemon game of perfection. Still had great competitive because it was Generation 4, but unfortunately we followed that up with the worst Pokemon games. Generation 5, I can't find anything redeeming about it except for like 2 Pokemon. I did a video, I think I like 11 out of the 150 Pokemon, or maybe 15. It was like 10%. I like 10% of the Pokemon designs. That's bad. That's not good. The music isn't memorable. I don't know what people are talking about when they say that it is. What was that other thing I was gonna... Oh yeah, the only redeeming thing about that game is the Peril music. That's a banger. I'll give them that. That's a banger song. But the story was stupid. It's the worst story out of all. And like, the Red and Blue story is incredible because you have Yakuza mob boss fronting an illegal gambling parlor kind of idea, and then stealing and killing Pokemon on the side while being like the greatest trainer in the region. Giovanni's badass, dude. I love it. And then Gold and Silver just taking that and expanding on it even more. So there's a lot of really cool stuff going on between these games. And then this story is so disingenuous. Like, the games are too disingenuous. Like, where's the F? I think was this made by a Gen Weiner? Was this a 5th Gen fan that made this tier list and they didn't have the balls to put F because they knew some kid would be like, nah, Black and White are Fs for sure. You know, one of those things. The story is so stupid. Like, the entire game's disingenuous to Pokemon. You can't get any pre-existing generation Pokemon inside the games. That's dumb, and that was like an intentionally made decision, so you don't get to feel anything that you've built up. Game Freak even said in an interview that they made it to where they wanted everyone on an equal playing field. No, that's stupid. Why take away why take away this perfection of giving everything for older Pokemon fans and then stripping it away from them? I disagree with that strongly. The story doesn't need to exist. We don't need anything challenging the idea of if Pokemon ownership is okay, because if you're actually a Pokemon fan, if you're a true understander of Pokemon, and you're a real Pokemon trainer, you understand it's right. There's no doubt. There shouldn't be any doubt. There shouldn't be any doubt for the citizens of the Pokemon world even. We laugh at PETA as a joke. We don't give them any credit to give them any power as an evil organization. And then In is just the most cliched garbage, and then Black and White 2, it's just boring. There's nothing, it adds to it, but it doesn't add into any meaningful way. Couldn't even finish these games, they were so stupid. I only bought them for like competitive, and then Black and White, we just kind of had that. Now, going into Pokemon X and Y, ooh, this is... There's so much trickiness to talk about with this tier list. I want to give Pokemon X and Y like that B+ kind of feel, because the things you do, I berry farmed for hours just so I could get all the berries. I got so many friends in my friend Safari so I could get the hidden abilities and train. The shiny hunting in this game is on fire. You know, you're able to go to, you have multiple ways of shiny hunting, and it all works. You know, you got like that Poke Radar, bringing back the Poke Radar from Generation 4. That was pretty lit. I tried to do it chaining back in the day, wasn't able to do it. I don't even think I got a successful chain in Pokemon X and Y either. Oops. But I mean, you got chain fishing, you got hordes, you have a lot of extra mechanics, Mega Evolution was really good, and just the sense of community. Until hacking became available, until Pokemon Bank became available, people were actually like outplaying Pokemon. I go to Denny's and play with like 24 other people. Pokemon was alive and well, so like it kind of makes me want to give it to the A, but at the same time, it wasn't like that great of a Pokemon experience. It was just strong, you know, B+. Not pristine, not perfection, but just strong when it came to those games. However, I'll give Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire the A. I went back to Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire and I went, wow, this took Generation 6 and just capitalized on it and made everything better. Being able to go to the Mirage Islands expands the gameplay. Being able to expand on secret bases was also just complete fire. And that's what I mean. Like, if these are Bs, these are As. Definitely increases on them as remake versions for sure. And then, yeah, just everything about it is so good. You can do the daycare loop and then get Pokemon up to level 50 without training. The training was also really good in those games as well. There's just so much to do. Now, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, even like when you do the overworld flying with the Pokemon, Latios and Latias, it looks like the games just look great. Everything about the games are great. I think they're severely underrated as Pokemon titles. Pokemon Sun and Moon, I'll give them a C only because Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon is better. Like, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon is how Pokemon Sun and Moon should have launched. So Sun and Moon should have been C's, and then Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon should have been more than that, and then A's. So in retrospect, like if Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon didn't exist either, say we went to like Pokemon Let's Go right after, Pokemon Sun and Moon would get a B. The only reason they get C's is because they're incomplete in comparison to the perfect, or not perfect, but you know, to the 100%. Like, these just feel like completed versions. Pokemon Sun and Moon, the handholding was whatever, but I mean, you can't hold that against the games too much, because if you're going into the post-game, you're gonna spend 20 hours on the story. I beat the game in like 11 hours or something. Maybe 15, I don't remember. But yeah, you play the story, it's gonna suck for a few hours, and then you got 999.59 hours of just raw Pokemon post-game, competitive, getting all the items, catching all the Pokemon, shiny hunting on all that. So it doesn't really hold the games back too much, but the features were fairly limited. And then also, hacking ruined the game. I don't want to hold that against the games, but the games just died super, super quick. And the competitive sucked. You know, the competitive was just unbalanced. They nerfed Kangaskhan Talonflame, which didn't need the nerfs as bad as Tapu Koko should have been weaker from the start. Landorus needed nerfs and all these other things. So, I mean, they hit the wrong Pokemon. They nerfed everything else too. They made Paralysis weaker. They made Confusion weaker. They made Prankster weaker. So they took all the fun stuff out, made it very stagnant and competitive, and then they tried to buff some other Pokemon. Some of them got use, but not enough use. It was just kind of a competitive mess, which also made the games not last as long. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. It's like, there was promise here. They could have been better. I really like the Pokebell Go. There's a lot of redeeming features about it. But overall, I wanted the games to be better than they end up being. They're B's to A's. Like, you know, if these games are just slightly better and expanded on each other. Also, never mind. Festival Plaza just gives this game a C. Festival Plaza also killed the games as well. Which brings us to the most recent games, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Best Pokemon games, second best Pokemon games. As we can see, there's a trend here now. The trend kind of dropped off Fire Red, Leaf Green because I didn't value them as high as Red and Blue version. But I mean, you know, more doesn't immediately equal better. It still has to capture the spirit of Pokemon. I think Red and Blue is really good at that. But Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee is the spirit of Pokemon perfected. It is the epitome of the spirit of Pokemon just as much as Heart Gold Soul Silver. Heart Gold Soul Silver just has like more to do, I feel, and is like an intentionally a very bold game. I don't have anything against Pokemon Go catching. I actually really enjoyed it. I did a playthrough. I did a Let's Play of Pokemon Sun and Moon where you can't like feint or attack Pokemon, and I enjoyed it more. So the catching is really fun. Everything about this game, I've talked about Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee at length for having everything down. Competitive is better. It's like playing Pokemon Stadium. Competitive is the best thing I've had since Generation 4. We have easy EV training. Or not EV training. There's no EV training if you just do standard flat rules. Getting IVs is really good. You chain. Everything you do in chaining just benefits you. You chain Pokemon, you get more experience, you get more IVs, you get a higher chance of getting a shiny Pokemon, which can then be competitive. So everything just kind of snowballs into itself. And how I described it is Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, none of your work is wasted. Every action you take in Pokemon Let's Go rewards you. If you want PP Max for competitive, you get one every day. If you want hard scales for competitive, you get 3 every day. Bottle cap, gold bottle cap, in the craziest experience grinding we've seen with Chansey. So that way, actually, Hyper Training is viable for the first time since it was introduced. I'd say it's unviable in Generation 7, but in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, hella viable. It actually works out, but you don't really need to do it too much because Pokemon Let's Go already has a really good IV training system, and it's just the ultimate Pokemon game. If you hate Pokemon Let's Go, you're not a Pokemon fan. Because this is the Pokemon fans game. This is made for everyone. This has so many nods to older players. This has so many deeper mechanics. The competitive is pristine, and I don't really know what other good things I have to say about it. Like, it's just great. You walk in, you're playing Pokemon, you feel like a kid again, and it's a real Pokemon adventure. So there we go, guys. That is the Verlisify Pokemon main series game tier list. Hope you all enjoy the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.